Hello once again, my violence-loving buddies. Depassion here with another segment of my No More Heroes 2 review. I hope you're enjoying it so far and are all caught up on my previous parts. In this part, I will begin to go through the stages and the fresh faces to the assassination scene. The assassins of No More Heroes 2. You liking what I've released so far? Let me know by hitting that like button. Oh, and tell me about your favourite stages and assassins among this bunch. Thank you for doing so. Before I work my way up the UAA rankings, one wonderful thing that I will happily point out is how the final death blow carries a crapload more weight to it. Once the deadly deed has been done, the assassins scream with a bit of a reverb and slow-mo. It's all stressing that this is their final moments in this fight. This nice touch makes the battles and the cutscenes that follow all the more gratifying. Travis does a lot more in cutscenes, and the game keeps you involved with a QTE prompt. There isn't any way of failing this, the scene will just slow down to a crawl. We also get a flashcard with the assassin's name and their current state. I say current state because not all of them die. Some get a KO and another, well, more of a dream boss is disintegrated, which is a big relief. Can't come back from that, you freak. Alright.
Let's get started.
Skelter Helter.
You insensitive prick! You killed him and you don't even remember! You know how humiliating that is?
Another handsome man. This one is not as easily forgettable, from his cloud-like hair and revolver of one hell of a clip. Skelter Helter is introduced in a scene that is similar to his older brother. He is a great tutorial boss due to having a gun and a melee weapon. Not much to say other than that he gives the player a bit of a playground to enjoy. Beat attacks rock him back quite nicely, the arena gives us plenty of room to get used to Travis's movement, along with the camera, and his combos are good, clean fun. Another chunky piece of dark stepping bait. He has a lot of personality, and he actually introduces us to a super nice change. Assassins will be pretty chatty in fights. If you get your ass beat enough, Skelter will even give you a nice bit of advice.
Better go through the tutorial again.
He has good stun potential and really gets the story rolling.
This is the ultimate vengeance!
My little wish is, if his game mechanics and patterns were to return, adding another sword to gun combo along with a gun to sword combo. Other than that, can't complain.
It's called fashionably late fuckface. When you see your bro in hell, tell him he's still a douche!
Are you familiar with any yoga positions?
Like, downward dog?
Hey! We're not done yet!
Fuckface.
Nathan Copeland.
These rankings mean nothing to me. Neither does my sect or the mob. My only true calling was to clash swords with you.
Rampaging through a hotel is a great laugh. We get one hell of a track to enjoy too. Kill or be killed. This sunny hotel makes a great introduction to how stages will be structured differently. More open planned rather than variously shaped tunnels. The helicopter is a nice touch and gets you actually using the forward dodge roll, aka the strongest tool in the game. Goons spawn in unique ways and will continue to do so from this point on. Overall, a great first stage to rampage through. Now, I will try and show mercy here. I seriously did not like returning to this boss for one main reason. His stage is more effective than he is. Nathan plays a keep away strategy, which I do like for the first phase of the boss fight. His stage is a big cheap trick, but at least it evolves with its arsenal. Unfortunately, Nathan does not. He sticks to his keep away strategy, good 1-2-3 combo, a flash kick, a good boom from his boxing arms as a get off me tool, a grab where he really yeets you, and his missiles which do track pretty well. The game design problem shows due to this boss arena having the only side room in the series. Having less of the hotel arsenal would be great if they were replaced with more attacks inspired through dance moves, or even having some of Nathan's moves literally be in time with his boss theme. The chandelier was an unexpected gimmick to add to the fight, but Nathan's moves don't force you to the center of the room. The moving rugs I got no beef with, along with the exploding plants, but the guns on all four of the pillars are seriously irritating. All these components paired up can be fantastic, but altogether makes the boss fight more of a war zone than a one-on-one fight. I will accept there is room for me to improve when it comes to fighting Nathan and his hotel room. However, I do not seem to have a lot of time or space to meaningfully interact with Nathan. Having a boombox beat that literally pushes Travis to the center of the room would have been brilliant. Or just simply having Nathan change cassette tapes to set off different attack patterns for himself and his hotel room. Initially, during my Journey to No More Heroes 3 run, I was pretty ticked off because of how little I got to clash swords with Nathan. No homo. But this is probably the only assassin that I dislike when it comes to the mechanics. We literally got a room to run away to instead of actually getting a more refined battle. Definitely a dude with a lot of gimmicks. I do want Nathan's mechanics to appear in No More Heroes 3 in some sort of way. Nathan and his hotel room have a lot to work with. It totally depends on which ones compare together well. The cult leader is a pretty great character though. Nathan is the first one to coin the term crownless king. Shows us that Travis will be doing a lot more in cutscenes before and after the fight. His design is pretty sweet, and I think if Death Metal and Nathan Copeland were ever to collaborate, we would have some seriously badass tracks.
This must be karma. Travis touchdown.
Spare me the mystic crap.
Magnificent! Travis, the crownless king.
Charlie McDonald.
After this, I'm gonna touch you down!
Cleaving through a lot of grown adults at university is weird. I'm glad the enemies did not have unique designs just for this stage, such as looking younger, because I don't want anyone to dodge the crippling feeling of uni debt. Destroy University is a sunny, wonderful location. We make our way in from the front gate to the courtyard, which veers to the right. In this stage, we're introduced to the cars, the problematic spawn points. If you're ready to mess up a goon, you'll have to wait until they step out the vehicle. Even worse when Strawberry on the Shortcake is going. Best to take in the scenery while you're waiting. This location is great. Feels like an open day at college or something, since the stage naturally leads you to the gym. The goons will be jogging away and feeling the burn. The only time I wish Travis could put his beam katana away and just watch. Seeing them dudes actually using objects which are in the stage still leaves me smiling. For this rampage, it did feel a little short with enemies spread about a fair bit, which was a welcome change. Made me feel like I was bringing the pain to them. A bit of a short stage, but I savoured it. Now for Charlie and all those hoes, all his hoes, in different area codes. We are treated to a cheesy cutscene which just gets crazier. We meet a handsome dude that somehow has control over all the rankings between number 50 and himself. I got two theories on this. The cheerleaders are engineered clones which were sent to clear the way for Charlie, so he could get his rank 25 and paste on his sports gear. He does seem like the type to have a favourite number and claim it wherever he goes. Or his looks and voice were so dazzling to all the assassins he faced on his journey up the ranks, they got plastic surgery to all become the matching peppy squad we got now. You can take a pick on which theory you prefer, or write your own in the comments. The ones I came up with were inspired by the little prologue cutscene with that mysterious lady before the rampage. Now, after we go full throttle on the anime gear stick, we find ourselves on a 2D plane fighting as pure white giant Glastonbury against Center Death Parade. The chance to punk around as a giant mecha in a hack and slash was a lot of fun. An awesome surprise which was funny and badass for me as a teenager and to this day. Charlie has a simple moveset available to him. He has a Death Parade beam you can just jump over. Death Parade Buster shoots you down for being Air Jordan too much, aka jumping in Charlie's face all the time. A block. A Death Parade Punch, which is a 2-hit combo. And a great super attack once he has enough energy. As Glastonbury, you have access to a 2-hit combo, a jump, jumping kick, a block, and 2 super attacks. You can give Charlie a slice of paradise with Strawberry Shortcake. Or save the bloody Queen with London Missile. This battle is brilliant for its concept. If I ever fight as a giant mecha on a 2D plane, I would like it to expand on these mechanics. What I found a little lacking was Charlie gaining energy. If it was a bit quicker, his super attack would actually be more of a threat. The fight overall is not that challenging, with little room to get stylish. Only thing I could suggest to spice things up in a simple way is to give Charlie the ability to do jump attacks and a way to approach a lot more. Make him more of a threat. Death is in his mecha's name. What would have been nice to see is the only thing I believed was missing from this whole event. Travis becoming a Power Ranger. However, from my research this year, Travis becoming some sort of Space Sheriff Gavan or Kamen Rider parody would have made more sense. Only if the developers had the time to really knock the zany meter up another notch. If any of the mechanics of this fight were to carry over, I would say just the whole experience really, but with more freedom of movement and more attacks from both mechas. Overall, a fun and very simple fight that gives us some of that bizarre jelly.
Let's do this!
Here comes a new challenger, Kimi Hell. An even shorter rampage? Stage? Meeting the knifey boys is good. The way they're introduced is a little sneaky too. What is strange is that sometimes they can target you before seeing them and be throwing knives at you. Gotta love them bugs. This rampage takes place in the evening and has wreckage of Santa Death Parade scattered about. I guess these parts somehow didn't leave Destroy University a smouldering crater. That's some quality materials. Kimi is a hard boss for me to get a rhythm. My advice, dark stepping is currently a must for me, unless you like using charged attacks all day long. The bubble attack is pretty unexpected, and I like how it can sneak up on you. Kimi's combos are amazing, wild, and somehow precise. Knowing how to parry for this fight would cut the challenge down a fair bit. A great change to finally have a challenger pop up and come at Travis too. If I were to carry any of Kimi Hell's mechanics over to No More Heroes 3, I would like to see a slightly more approachable version of her. It seriously feels like I'm attacking a blender head on sometimes. A combo that forces the player into a bubble stream would be horrifying as well. Oh, and Kimi getting her glasses back, which were somehow lost after the No More Heroes 2 trailer. I've got some room to improve in this fight, but I ain't mad at this one. Kimi is a challenger and it would be great to see more of these. My brain has been brimming with unlikely challengers. What are yours? See you in a few years, and don't be dead, co-ed.
Hi. Anyway, I wrote down all my feelings in a letter. Here, take it.
You're joking, right? Read this here?
Here we go. Get into it.
Nope. Screw this.
Matt Helms. This is the first stage that is only accessible via an Akashic point. On this playthrough I realised how dangerous these supernatural gateways were. No one is guarding them or anything. Was the Mayor of Santa Destroy like, a weird portal under a bridge? Fuck it, put some tape around it. This rampage has a lot of red, a lot of travel time, and one of my favourite tracks in the game. A jazzy rendition of the original No More Heroes theme. This place really leans on the horror theme aesthetic and kinda reminds me of Resident Evil 4. We get introduced to the chainsaw guys. These dudes have some serious armor, as long as they are attacking. It takes a lot to get them backing down. We even get a bit of a stage hazard in the form of boulders when running along the coast. Now, Matt is a thick boy through and through, able to barge through attacks and make the ground shake, has a short-range projectile in the form of a flamethrower, chucks Molotov cocktails, which can be tricky to deal with at first. Yet with some practice, and I really mean some, most of Matt's kit can be neutered with some well-timed dodges. He does have a lot of slow attacks and makes up for it with that super armor, because mashing out attacks is bad. Matt has a quick little swipe of his axe, a big jumping chop that can really rock you, and a running slash that can get stuck in posts and walls. His axe seems too heavy to block with that big old swing attack too. The boss arena has a couple walls and pillars which can be destroyed, and if you choose to use a charged attack here, things can get a little choppy, at least on the Wii. Another great feature in this arena is the furniture. Travis can get stuck on them, which makes Matt a much bigger threat. Reminding me of the horror monster vibe he brings, and your unrestricted movement is vital for surviving Matt's attacks. Matt is an alright boss, but once you have half of the timings down for attacks and a little patience, he unfortunately becomes a bit boring. His theme is reused later in the game by a different assassin, in frankly a much better boss fight. After I returned to face Helms in my most recent playthrough, his oddly shared track reminds me of what is to come and took my focus away from him. Gotta love those jiggle physics though, really brings you back to the moment. Oh, an interesting detail I noticed was that Matt gets up from a seated position. If any of Matt Helms' mechanics were to return in No More Heroes 3, I would have preferred his Girthquake shaking Travis a bit longer, since it is easy to mash out the state before Matt can capitalize on it. A 2-hit combo string that alternates to different heavy attacks would be good too, or something that would bottleneck the player into taking a Molotov to the face. Bringing all his mechanics over would be fantastic, because he is such a unique assassin within No More Heroes 2. A thick boss who I wouldn't mind more of since they force you to think more. A wonderful weirdo which really brings in the supernatural into the No More Heroes world in a creepy and fantastic way.
Full power!
I'll end things here for now and continue with my review up the ranks in the next video. Let me know if you liked this review by hitting that button. Drop a comment about your time with these lot, and subscribe so you know when the next part of the review comes out. See you on the next journey. Take care.